we're really excited today to put on this webinar for you with LinkedIn and the conference organisers from George Labs, who are going to be sharing their tips for using social media platforms to promote your events. There'll be a Q&A for everyone watching as we're going through, so please feel free to drop any questions that pop into your head as we go along, and we'll answer them at the end. And also this webinar will be recorded, so you can go back to it if there's anything that really inspires you or you want to share it with your friends, colleagues and networks. Just to start with, we'll just do a brief introduction. If you don't know already, I'm Rio from Tailor, and I'm the head of customer experience. You might have seen me on other webinars. And yeah, Eleanor, do you want to say hi?
Sure. Hi, I'm Eleanor. I work at LinkedIn, responsible for some of our business development initiative across EMEA, and really happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
And next panelists are George. Too many Georges on the call already. I knew this was going to happen.
I'll go, and then I can intro to George Labs.
That'll help.
I'm George Follett, not George Labs. From Tailor, I'm commercial director. So yeah, got to know Eleanor a while ago when we started partnering with LinkedIn, and really excited about the work that we're doing together to help event creators kind of build their network. So I'll be showing you a bit more about how that works later. And yeah, hand over to Daniel and Samira at George Labs.
So should I go first, or do you want to start?
Yes, Samira, please go first.
Okay. My name is Samira Shami. I'm a copywriter and content creator for George Labs, and I'm responsible for the communications measures all around the conference. Yeah.
And I'm Daniel De La Fuente. I'm the service design lead at George Labs. And yeah, super excited to share with all of you our experience organizing and designing this conference. We will talk about the first edition, but also a little bit of the second edition. And thank you, Rio and Tailor and LinkedIn. We are very happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you as well. We're super excited to hear your stories and have you share it with other people. For those of you that are watching, please use the poll to introduce yourselves as well. It just sort of asks what sort of events you're running. Looking at the first few votes, we've got quite a mixed audience here between sort of conferences, festivals, workshops. It's pretty even with the events you run, which is really exciting. Obviously, the George Labs team have put on a conference, but I think a lot of what they've done using LinkedIn and a lot of what Eleanor's going to share is relevant for any event organisers. So I hope that you can all take away something really useful today. And yeah, after that brief introduction, I'll hand over to Daniel, who'll give his story about running George UX conference in a really successful manner. So you're here.
Perfect. So here we go. Hi, everyone. The name of the conference is, as you can see here, the George UX Conference. And the title that we chose for our conference, or the theme, is Shaping Finances by Design. So Samira and me, we will give you a quick look about the event itself. Like I said, in 2022, we had the first edition. So I will be, the first slides, I'll be talking about the previous event, and later on about this year's event. So this event is targeted to designers. So it was made for designers by designers. We are targeting UX designers, researchers, UX writers, product owners, everybody who is involved in the product experience. And if you ask me, how did we get here? Well, let me introduce you to the design chapter. We are a lot of creatives with super enthusiastic about innovation, trying to bring the best possible experience to our customers. And in the middle, you can see our CPO. His name is Mauri. And thanks to him, we were able to greenlight the whole event because, you know, in the banking sector, financial sector, it's all about secrecy. It's all about, you know, it's hard to be transparent when you are dealing with processes on products. But we said, it's not about that. We are not talking about our new cool features or trying to talk with our competitors. It's not about that. It's how we as designer are impacting the organization, the products, and ultimately the customers. And our CPO, as he's also a designer, he said like, yeah, why not? Let's do that. Let's invite everyone from no matter which country, which bank or fintech, and let's have a discussion. And this was beautiful because we were able to invite many people from around the world. Now, why George? George is the name of our digital financial application. We are present in the CE region. So we are in around 6 countries like Austria, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Romania, Croatia, and so on. And we have around 9 million active customers. And in our region, we are proud to say that our customers are very happy with our solutions, and we have a very good brand perception. But we know that this was not enough. So innovation is part of our DNA. And we realized that in order to really innovate, we need to have a conversation. That's why we created this event. We wanted to invite experts from top companies, and with all these experts in one room. By the way, this event was a hybrid event. We had people on site, but also remote, and it was a blast. We had an incredible satisfaction rate of 4.8. Incredible. Really, this was the first time ever that we organized such an event. So we are completely rookies. But as designers, we treated this as a design project. So we were very meticulous, and some people were really, we were getting them crazy because we are so obsessed with details. But ultimately, when looking at the people's reaction, some people said that for some of them, it was even the best conference they ever attended. This, of course, it's raised the bar too high, and we don't know if we will be able to repeat it for the second edition, but we are really trying hard. In terms of tickets, we were very lucky as well to use Ticket Tailor because it was super user-friendly for a first-time organizer. I was able to find my way very, very easy. So in terms of numbers, we issued around 1,400 tickets. We have 300 attendees on site, and we have remote around 1,000 that registered, but the peak was around 750. This was incredible for us. We were not expecting to have so many people. But we were able to meet our expectations because we wanted to really reach and go out of our region, of, let's say, our bubble. So we had participants from around 52 countries. In person, of course, we have our neighbors from Germany, from Slovakia and Hungary, but as well, we were very happy to see that a lot of people from the UK were also coming to the event. And remote, we also have, or we could see a big presence of people from the US, also from the UK, and we reached countries like far, far away from our market, like from South America, South Korea, Singapore. So this was incredible. Now, when we were organizing this event, we wanted to bring an incredible speaker lineup. So we are thinking that we should bring the company and the speaker. So both are invited on stage, let's say. And yeah, we made it possible. We had like incredible brands and incredible designers and design leads as speakers, but as well, we had an incredible audience. Now for this year, it's all about the future. So what's going to happen, right? We are all thinking with AI and disruption at the gates, and the only thing that we could see is that everything is changing around us. So as designers, we want to understand a little bit better the landscape, but we shouldn't miss our users. So we need to keep finances human, and that's our target, how to make finances more human. And for that, we need to talk about inclusivity, and we really need to be careful not to exclude anyone and to go deeper into the behavioral science and behavioral economics. So we need to go as well into the science and the psychology of finances. Now, the event, as I said, it's remote. So in person, we have an incredible location at the Erste campus in Vienna. And the event itself, it's in a very good location. We are trying to go for an eco event. So the city of Vienna, we were able to get the kind of the stamp of an eco event, because we are always promoting our attendees to use the public transportation. We are also trying not to generate any unnecessary waste. So we are trying to keep it as green and clean as possible. Yeah, so I think it froze. 1 second. I'll be right back.
Something always goes wrong when you're presenting.
Okay. Let me see if now it's working. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Perfect. Well, now let's talk about how all of these come back together with our product, Ticket Tailor, and LinkedIn. And now I would be handing over to Samira.
Yeah, great. So last year we were a bit clumsy in the beginning because it was, as you said, Daniel, everything was new to us. I mean, many of us already planned or organized different types of conferences or events, but in a smaller scale. But this time it was really a huge thing and we wanted to do a great job. But as it's always the case when something is new, we didn't know, okay, how do we approach this, etc. And this year, we made a 3 steps approach. Namely, we had the website, but then we also had the Ticket Tailor integration and also LinkedIn. And this year, we didn't want to use LinkedIn only as a platform, but also as a tool. Yeah, so we wanted to use it strategically in order to promote the event properly. As you can see on the left side, this is how the website currently looks, and it's a really nice design. So the designers did a great job. And via the website, you can purchase the tickets for the event. So you can purchase the tickets for the on-site event, and also if you want to watch it remotely. And as you can see, the design of the Ticket Tailor site or page looks exactly as our website. And additionally, we created an event in LinkedIn where you can also sign up, some sort of sign up, and get all the information necessary for the event. So here we have 3 steps and they all work together perfectly.
Again, I have some issues, just 1 second.
It's fine, take your time.
I do really like the look of your event page. You can tell it's been built by a team of designers.
Yeah. So please go ahead, Samira. I will troubleshoot here.
Okay, so in the beginning, there was, of course, the question, okay, do we want to promote that event like with a budget or without a budget? So do we want to grow organically or not organically? And we said, why do we want to exclude either one? So we had some posts that were paid promoted, and then we had posts that were not paid promoted. And as you can see here, for example, we have also a group which is called Shaping Finances by Design, and we would be very happy to welcome all the designers that are interested in the group. And this, for example, is an unpaid post. So we posted our first speakers pair for the conference. But we didn't have to promote it with a paid post because we thought that people from the same industry might know each other, would be interested in this, and you can also look all the speakers up on the website anyway. So we wanted to reserve the budget for example, for the ticket sales start, for early bird endings, then to have different posts referring to the conference as a whole. So this, as you can see here, was just one step in our journey to promote the event. So yeah, our mission or our goal was that not only the individual users are engaged, but also the brands. And as you can see here, Wise already interacted with one of our posts, which is great, and which was one of our main targets. So we wanted to create a community that interacts with each other, that shares or exchanges thoughts and visions, best practices, stories, etc. And we are on a very good track, I'd say. Yeah, you can go to the next one. Oh, it's already the thank you slide. So yeah, we would love to have you in the group if you're interested. There you'll find everything about UX design, about the conference. You will get information, etc. pp. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And yeah, if you want to visit us in Vienna, now's your chance to get an early bird ticket. They will be running till end of June, and the prices are super accessible. So if you want to come to Vienna, let us know, and we will be happy to meet you. Thank you.
I mean, I definitely want to come to Vienna. But thank you so much for sharing your story, a bit about your conference and your marketing strategy as well. It's just amazing that you got that many ticket sales from, you know, LinkedIn marketing. And yeah, it's a great sort of handover to Eleanor, who tell us a little bit more about how LinkedIn can work with events.
Yeah, amazing. And thank you, Daniel and Samira. I love how you basically started from scratch with events, from the kind of perspective of trying to innovate and to grow, and you see event as kind of a lever for conversation and knowledge sharing, which is really what LinkedIn is about. So it's great to see that you're leveraging LinkedIn for this, and I know that you're also using the integration that I'm about to talk about. So that's, again, a fantastic way of bringing it all to life. So thank you for sharing this. So just kind of on my end, and very nice segue from the case study. You know, what's LinkedIn to do with events? I think a lot of people are asking, and I just want to kind of set the tone for you know, for our integration and in that respect. So if you look at the mission of LinkedIn, to really connect the world's professionals and make them more productive and get them to access opportunities, I think we really look at events as a very powerful way to grow, to fuel communities and knowledge exchange. And so that's why myself and there's a big team at LinkedIn that is looking at events as a lever for knowledge sharing and for having those conversations that Daniel and Samira were just mentioning. Now, we've had many discussions with events platforms, with ticketing platforms, with attendees, and we realized that networking is very much at the core of events and event attendees. However, there's unfulfilled needs in that respect. And the question is why. We kept on, asking where are the issues? And there's three things, I guess, that we hear from people. So the first thing is that people don't know necessarily who is going to be attending an event. And this can be very, when you enter a room with thousands of people, it could be very overwhelming and you're missing on opportunities. Secondly, even if you get a list of who is attending, you don't know a lot about them, about their background, how relevant they are to you. And here, you're missing on business value. And the third kind of challenge that we hear from attendees and organizers in relation to event networking is that it's really hard to carry over the conversation beyond the life of the event. So the event is finished, and so everybody is going kind of deleting the event app, and then what's next? How will I continue to connect with the attendees and with the event brand? So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with LinkedIn event page as a feature. This is something that started quite some time ago and is being used thousands of times a week, if not more, as a way for our members to create events, to join events, and again, have that knowledge exchange and connection. And so if you look at the LinkedIn event page and what it allows you first of all to see who is attending. You can connect to them, you can message them really easily, and it allows you also to invite other people in your network and to share the event widely with your network with a kind of a pre-written message, and more importantly, I guess, to share content that relates to the event and use the event hashtag. And so it's kind of an entity that it's like a container that exists on the LinkedIn platform. And I loved what Samira was saying, that it's, you're using LinkedIn as both a platform and a tool. And I guess you could look at this way. It's a place where the community exists, but it's also a tool to promote the event and to reach new audiences and new markets. So this is something that's been used, but we wanted to understand how can we help our members leverage this even more. And so we started testing this integration that allows event organizers to connect their event registration page to the LinkedIn event page very seamlessly. So what it does is, myself as an attendee, I would register, and at the end of the registration flow, I'll see an iframe that invites me to also join the event on LinkedIn and see who else is coming and connect to them and share the event. And so in a way, we're building kind of a digital community layer on top of your event that can help you multiply your attendee and really use your event attendees as active communities on LinkedIn. So we started by testing it. We tested it in Brazil, in India, in Germany, with some of the largest ticketing platforms there, to really see what is the reaction, how is it being used? Are the connections and messages of people increasing? Is the event brand visibility increasing? And our metrics after that pilot that we've done last year show that there is an increase, there is an impact. And in fact, a lot of people said to us that they see kind of three main values when they're using that integration. The first thing is about the depth of knowledge that they know that they have about other attendees. And that's, as I said, something that is missing from today's perhaps digital platforms or event communities. The second thing is longevity. LinkedIn is there to stay. And so the connections that you're making on the platform are staying also after the life of the event. And the third thing is about scale and discovery. LinkedIn, as a platform, when you set up an event, what we do is we surface it in front of the right people, networks. You'll see it on the right-hand side of your feed. It will suggest an event to you if the algorithm think it's relevant. So all of that really helps our event organizers reach new markets. And so I think, George, this is now a good time to perhaps show the integration, how it's how it
Cool.
looks and demo it,
Great.
and then I'll continue talking about the value and perhaps a little bit about content creation as well.
Great. Well, I've got the envious task of doing a live demo, so I'm hoping this is all going to go smoothly. I'm sure it will. But yeah, just to add to Eleanor, what she was saying about the kind of benefits of this integration, you know, as we've seen even just from the poll there, Ticket Tailor works with such a wide range of event organizers with all different kind of demands and different kind of priorities when it comes to their events. And at Ticket Tailor, we really want to just get the ticketing right for you. So we want to make, as event organizers, your life really simple and really efficient from kind of that point of registration through to being able to deliver tickets. So when we kind of get feature requests, which is something that's came up quite regularly, particularly from the conference sector, was how do you kind of build a network? Or it'd be great to have some things that Eleanor was mentioned about seeing who else is going, being able to chat to people. So that was kind of one thing that was in the back of our minds. And then obviously we knew LinkedIn was a huge platform for the particularly kind of conferences and workshop events that were already happening. We don't quite often see Ticket Tailor events popping up on LinkedIn, whether people posting them and sharing them with their network. So when LinkedIn approached us about piloting this, it did feel like a real kind of opportunity. Like, you know, we're quite often looking for like other kind of integrational partners we can get a Ticket Tailor that will add a lot of value, and they'll obviously do it better than us. You know, if we decided to build a social network on your event page, it's not going to be as powerful as plugging into something like LinkedIn. So for us, it was a real no-brainer to explore this. And we've been really happy with how the integration's gone since we've rolled it out. So I'm going to show you how it's working, show you how it works at the moment. And hopefully through that, you'll see some of the value on it. So the first thing you need to do if you want to use the Ticket Tailor LinkedIn integration is build a event on LinkedIn. So hopefully you'll probably have all the assets you need for this because you would have built your event page on Ticket Tailor. So it's very similar sorts of information with your image and the event name and dates and things like that and attendees. And yeah, you can see here. So I've got a Ticket Tailor LinkedIn demo event here, which I've already created, and I've already got some of my connections going. So then to activate this and to connect it to your Ticket Tailor event, what you'll need to do is you'll go to your connected apps within your Ticket Tailor box office, and you'll see activate the LinkedIn community builder. So if you click on this, I've already got mine activated, but we'll get a little bit of a brief explanation on what the integration does and how it works. So then once you've activated that, and by the way, now for conferences, if you sign up with a conference, we're going to automatically enable this, and it's going to be on your event page straight away. So it'll be a little bit easier to find. But for everyone else, once you're building your event, it's probably you've seen this page more times than you care to think about. But once you're building out your event page, down the bottom now we have this LinkedIn Community Builder block. And all you need to do is go back to your event page, copy and paste the URL from LinkedIn, and drop it into your this field. What that's going to do effectively is link your Ticket Tailor event to your LinkedIn event. Save the event. And I'm going to come back in a moment to the speaker URLs field, which just saw as well. And then you'll be able to view your event page. And here's my events. This is obviously on the Ticket Tailor event page. So I'm just going to purchase a ticket. Poor person with test.com has got a lot of emails from me today. Anyway, then we can complete the order. So it's a free ticket, so there's no payment to happen. And then we have this block here. So this automatically comes up once you put the URL in. If you're already signed in, it will go straight to the CTA. If you're not, then it will obviously offer your ticket buyers to register and join or sign in. I'm just going to quickly sign in. Oops. Remember my password. And then I'm going to confirm that I'm going to join the event, and it says your attendance is confirmed. And so now I'm linked to that event. So if I now go and check out who else is going, I'll probably see some familiar faces. And now you can see that I'm attending this event. So the call to action's changed here, which means I'm actually going to the event, which is very exciting. And then we can start engaging and networking with everyone else. So there's 37 other people going to this fake event in 2029, which we're all waiting for. So that's how the integration works at the moment. It's really easy. It literally, you know, it's basically 2 clicks. You have to turn it on, and then you have to copy and paste the event URL onto your LinkedIn, onto your Ticket Tailor page. We do have an update coming very soon, which is really exciting. Can you see this slide?
Yeah,
great. So yeah, this updated integration is really what it's allowing you to do is kind of make more connections, and those connections to last for a longer time. So the V1 of this integration basically connected your ticket buyers to the event itself. Now we've got the option of connecting to the business. So for Daniel and Samira, that means they could connect to George Labs directly. The speakers, so anyone who's speaking, you can select the speakers that you want to promote by the widget as well. And then also any groups as well that you have on LinkedIn. So I think the benefit of that we're going to see is that, yeah, instead of it being that one event that might then pass, you can have these kind of longer conversations and connections to the speakers and also the business. So we're really excited to see that rolled out, and it should be live any day soon. So if you keep an eye out, we'll put an update out to everyone about that very soon. Cool. Thank you very much. I'll hand back over to Eleanor.
Great. Thank you, George. This was really clear and great. And just to say about the second version of the integration, this is something that actually, you know, our event organizers and event partners wanted, because they wanted that continuous engagement with their audience. So that's why we allowed the event attendees to also follow the event company page on LinkedIn. So essentially you're converting your attendees into followers on LinkedIn, which is extremely valuable these days. So I think it's kind of clear, and I'm happy to answer any questions, and feel free also to connect with me offline. But I just now want to very briefly touch on, you know, content creation for event organizers, because I think a lot of event organizers perhaps underestimate, you know, how much knowledge and insights they have, and knowledge and insights are power. So actually, you know, for us at LinkedIn, we see event organizers are actually content creators. And this is a very powerful way to market your event. So unlike the traditional ways of, you know, putting an ad and cold calling, you know, you are promoting your event with the knowledge that you have. And this is how you gain trust, and then you gain, you know, attendees as well. And another thing about this is don't just look at yourself as a thought leader, look at your speakers and attendees and sponsors and exhibitors as thought leaders as well, and they can do the work for you. So there is a way to, you know, engage them at scale and make sure that they know, you know, what hashtag to use, and, you know, what content the audience is interested in, and how to post in a kind of a way that drives that engagement. So empower your audience as well to do that. And it's also within their interest, because a lot of exhibitors and sponsors, what they want is visibility. So if you give them the tools to create that visibility, and not just before and during and after your event, but, you know, throughout the year, this is something that, you know, can serve everyone. It's very, very win-win. And so when it comes to kind of actual content and, you know, what we see that really works on the platform, I guess I will divide it into 2 buckets. The first thing is thought leadership and industry insights, things that you see around, you know, your the kind of area of expertise that you are leading on, and always have in mind, you know, how can I be valuable to my audience? Not just how many clicks and likes I will get, but how can I be valuable to others? And strategically, who do I want to engage? That's why I enjoyed seeing that example with Wise, because, you know, when you engage a strong brand, it doesn't really matter how many likes you got. You engage the one that can really get you forward. So think like that. And the second bucket of knowledge is about professional development. I think we all, in addition to leading kind of expert areas, we all also career people people who, you know, are on a career journey. So there is also value to share leadership content, your own career journey in relation to your brand, to your company. And this is something that, again, is very, very valuable to the audience and can attract the right attention, whether we're talking about skills that you learn or an interesting meeting that you had, or perhaps a challenge that you're facing. So think a little bit about kind of the personal as well as the professional. And then when it comes to audience engagement, a lot of people ask us, you know, how much work it is to, you know, when I create an event page on LinkedIn, do I need to constantly post, and is it really time consuming? So the answer is, of course, you know, like with any social media, as much as you put in, you'll get out. But the fact that you have that event page does not mean that you need someone to moderate it constantly. You know, at the very least, you can take a post that you've shared on your company page and repost it on your event page on LinkedIn. Or you could just react to other people's posts. And of course, if you want to create more engagement, you can tag relevant people, you can map speakers to your event, which then their networks are notified. You can choose a hashtag for your event and then communicate it to your network so they can use it whenever they share content that's relating to your event. So there's loads of things that you can do to engage. And I think one of the things that I do sometimes is look at event pages that are successful, that really generate a lot of reposts, a lot of engagement, a lot of attendees, and see, you know, what's kind of the magic that they do there, and you know, how, and what's the cadence that they post. And on that, I just want to say that we have produced this event organizer playbook that we're happy to share. That essentially has ideas of cadence of posting, of ways to engage your sponsors, your attendees, your exhibitors. So yeah, I'll definitely share this after the talk today. And the last thing, I want to kind of make everyone aware that LinkedIn has an editorial team. That is the kind of the role of the editorial team is to curate interesting and relevant content that they see on the platform, and then push it in front of the right people through different products that the editorial team has, whether it's daily rundown, storylines, newsletters. So if you have a very relevant or interesting event on retail, tech, finance, world of work, this is something that potentially our editorial team could cover. Obviously, there are no promises here, but it's worth you know, approaching myself, and I'm happy to kind of gauge interest there. And again, this is a very, very powerful tool that LinkedIn has, that has millions of readership that is interested in the content that our editorial team is promoting and producing. So that's on content, and I'm very, very happy to answer any questions that you have. And if you're interested to hear more, happy to connect also offline.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Eleanor. That was really useful. Definitely some stuff that I'll be using for our own marketing. Samira, do you have a hashtag for George UX conference?
Yeah, of course. So we use George UX Conf all together in small letters, and then we of course use our George Labs or George hashtag Begging Has a Name, which is a wonderful hashtag actually. But you can now use also the George UX Conf hashtag. Yeah, that's our hashtag so far. Maybe we implement more.
And I was going to say, like, all of our people watching are probably going to go straight to your page and see look out your posts since they do so well.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
We've got some questions in from the people watching. I want to start with this question from Pavel. It's to the people in the George Labs team, asking about some stats, sort of how long it took you to plan, from planning to realize your event, how many weeks were you running your marketing campaigns, and sort of how effective was your LinkedIn campaign?
First of all, I'm not going too much into details because, like I cannot publish everything. But what I can tell you is that it's more time that we expected went into the planning phase. So, like regarding communications, I think there was a total of 2 months really brainstorming on how to approach the conference this year, because as I mentioned in the beginning, it was a bit difficult last year, and this year we wanted to do it a bit more like strategically and with a plan. So we had 2 months where we only planned what are we going to post, like not the content itself, but like what type of content do we want to post, when do we want to post, how often do we want to post, where do we want to post, what types of postings do we want to have, what other communications measures are needed to promote the event properly, etc. So it was a lot of work. And from January till I think end of March approximately was the planning phase. And then in April, we started really promoting the event. I think on the 19th of April, we started our first paid promotion this year for the event with the ticket sales start and the website launch. So this, for example, will be launched until October, until the event. And then we have other types of posts. For example, we will have a small giveaway, which will be promoted on Instagram, because we think LinkedIn is not like the best platform to do a giveaway. But anyway, this will be promoted for 1 month. Then we have other posting types which will be promoted for 2 weeks. So it's very different, and it's also depending on what you want to do and what you want to achieve. Like, is it only awareness generation, or is it that you want to have more followers, or is it like an educational post? So depending on the posting type, we set it for different dates. Yeah. And regarding the efficiency, I mean, of course, paid promotions are a bit more efficient because like people that do not directly follow us see the content. But I think it's not so much about the money, but I think it's about the quality of the post. As it was said by Eleanor before, it's like don't only go for fishing the likes and fishing the share buttons or anything, but really go for what could be useful to my audience or for my audience, and what could be interesting to them, because then I think they will like it automatically. So the one comes with the other. But if you just say, okay, I will post something that will generate a lot of likes, people might like it, but don't really read it, because maybe they don't click on the link to the article that's behind the post, but only see, okay, this is an AI topic, and AI is very widespread at the moment. So yeah, I like it, of course, but like I always prefer quality over quantity. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Samira. And just to add, when it comes to organic reach, especially when we talk about the LinkedIn event page, what happens when someone press attends, is that their networks are being notified, as I said before. And so this creates organic reach, and this creates visibility to networks that are skewed towards the network that you are, that you're looking for. So I think that's very powerful in itself.
Yeah, I think if I may add, for us, it's very, very important to have the right audience, because I don't want to say that our event is super exclusive, but it is targeted to a very specific target audience. So we are really reaching out to designers working in the financial industry, and getting to them is not super easy. It's not like posting everywhere all at once. It's like really, really, we need to put effort to reach the right companies and the right people. And for that, LinkedIn event, the event group and the event page has been really, really helpful.
Definitely. We've got another question from Barry, who's asked, with using LinkedIn events, what if you don't want to see exactly who's attending? Obviously, when George showed the demoed the integration, when your people are attending, they can choose whether or not to join the LinkedIn event. So if they sort of didn't want to join that networking discussion, it's totally up for them. So I think what's really beneficial about sort of social platforms like LinkedIn in your event community is you can engage the community that want to be engaged, but you're not sort of putting people off that might just want to come and sit at the back of the conference and learn and maybe aren't that outgoing. It's just a great sort of additional piece to use for your networking. So yeah,
exactly what you said, and actually at LinkedIn we really care about the privacy of our audience, and so this integration is an opt-in. You do not have to join the LinkedIn event. You opt in if you want to. That's something that is very important to us.
And in general, maybe Eleanor, this might be a question for you, but have you seen events benefiting from community platforms in terms of building their community year round outside of the event?
I mean, absolutely. And this is, again, going back to the content piece. This is the way to engage your audience going forward, is by adding value continuously throughout the year. And the benefit of the kind of second iteration of that integration is that you are able to convert your attendees into followers on your company page. And this is, again, a great way to engage them going forward. So I guess, yeah, the two kind of content piece and following the company page are ways that you can engage with them 360. And that's only if we talk about kind of LinkedIn. And of course, there are, different ways and different platforms that can help you.
Yeah, just to add to that as well, like speaking to a lot of event promoters, like I think where some of the most successful like event promoters and managers that we see, because they've got that really tight community, it makes the second year's sales or third year's sales so much easier to get those event tickets in. Like especially, one of the benefits of using a platform like Tailor is that you can just directly outreach to all of those people and you can get them onto Tailor for quite a low cost, and then you can make your sales. So instead of having to spend lots of money to acquire a whole new audience, you can use something like LinkedIn and they're just there ready and waiting. And then, yeah, it might not be all of your sales, but it might be your first 75% of your sales is kind of already in the bag. So I think that's something that we see work quite well with a lot of promoters.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's great to sort of use technology to sort of build community. And I'm wondering, is there anything you do at George Labs to sort of engage that community year round? Or are there any other sort of event tech ideas that you'd recommend other people to have a look at?
Well, what I would recommend to anyone is to treat your community online as you would treat your community offline. So just don't create the community and that's it. And every time around, like when the conference is happening, 1 month before and 1 month after, you post something to make people happy. I think that's the wrong approach. You should really treat the community like you would treat a community in real life. Like, hey, what's up? We have new information for you. This could be interesting to you. What are your thoughts on this? So you post actually or engage all year round, not only when a conference is happening, because this way you really motivate people to participate in the group actively and also share their thoughts and visions and ideas, or hey, look what we did at work, or what I wanted to do at work. What do you think about it? What's the latest design concept on this? What are trends that are skyrocketing at the moment, etc. So this would be really great if you engage with your community all year round.
Plus that I want to that, and it's not, when we have a company page, it's not just talking at your community, it's really talking with them and making sure that, you react to comments and that you engage them in conversations, and that it's not just top down. I think that's very key, is exactly what Samira said, treat them as you're seeing them in the room. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's great to see how you at George Labs have like really like grown that community with your first event, but also used the hybrid event structure to engage people that maybe you can't have in person. So I guess, do you think that technology is sort of helping events develop that community now better than it did in the past?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, what I love about technology regarding community creation is that you can also reach people that you would never ever have met like in real life otherwise. Like I would never, or the possibility is very low that I would have talked to someone in Australia or New Zealand or anywhere else. But this way I can really connect and talk to people like overseas or on other continents. And that's really a nice thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's like so amazing to see your global audience on that slide that you shared earlier.
Yeah, I think definitely that was one of our main objectives, like bring as much as possible different perspectives, because that's the only way to really grow and to get out of the status quo and the comfort zone. So we really need to expose ourselves, us publicly, but as well have the conversation with other companies and professionals around the world.
Amazing. We've just had another couple of questions come in a bit more about the sort of technical side of the Ticket Tailor and LinkedIn integration. So I'll just jump over to those. So one follow-up question was about keeping the people joining the event private, so that you can sort of keep that network yourself. Like,
this is on the LinkedIn event side, isn't it? So that the LinkedIn event could be private, I think is the question. Is that possible, Eleanor? I don't think it is at the moment, is it?
No. LinkedIn event page is best leveraged for events that are open to the public, as opposed to kind of closed corporate events, where there is an interest kind of in a benefit to reach new market and increase the visibility of the brand and the engagement between people. We do not have a function of a private event at the moment. This might change in the future. But yeah, that's the short answer.
However, obviously you could still have a LinkedIn event as a sort of marketing tool, but keep your, that integration is optional. So you could keep your actual attendees on.
Even without the integration, the LinkedIn event page as a feature in itself is public. Attendees are visible to others, and that's the power of LinkedIn, is the fact that they are visible and their networks know that they've joined, and the networks of the speakers know that they've joined. It's the kind of the social media magic. If you take away that, then you lose other benefits. But of course, I appreciate that there are events with different formats, and so it doesn't fit everything. And the key thing about working with Ticket Tailor here is that you can switch it on and off for any event that you want it or don't want it for. So
yeah, I was going to say, if you want to keep it very private, there's probably a different platform to use or different communication way of using that.
I mean,
yeah, sorry, after you're done.
Sorry, George. Maybe Barry, for you could think about the LinkedIn group that could be private, right? So you need kind of permission, but it's not connected with Ticketer. I don't know, maybe we could connect it somehow.
Yeah, well, LinkedIn groups on the second integration, the new integration will be added. So that could be one way, but I assume that you're also added to the event as well.
Yes, it has to be in the full flow. Yeah. But it's always important, for us to kind of learn what the needs are, and things are evolving. I'm sure the LinkedIn event feature, a few years back, looked different to what it is now, and it will look different in the future. So that's why, I'm happy to kind of connect and listen to what people are looking for. Absolutely.
Ria, shall I take those two quick questions on how the integration works?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be
cool. So one was, where do you paste the Ticketer URL once you've copied it? So you need to paste the LinkedIn URL onto Ticket Tailor. So once it's in Ticket Tailor, you just save the event, and then they're going to be connected together. If you want sales to happen on LinkedIn, so you also want to use the LinkedIn event to drive sales, paste it on to your LinkedIn event page so that people know where to buy tickets. So you can do that as well. But for the widget to work, you just need to create the LinkedIn, put the LinkedIn URL onto your Ticket Tailor event settings. And then in terms of the question here about where does the event actually happen? Was it Zooms, Teams, or native to LinkedIn? It's totally agnostic. So you can host the event wherever you like, the same way you will with Ticket Tailor. So you can, whether it's happening on Zoom or Teams or in person, the integration will still work.
And just to add a quick note about the LinkedIn event page as well, what it gives you is analytics about, your event attendees and when, ticketing went up and when it went down, and the messages and the connections between attendees. So that's, again, a very valuable way of getting to know your audience better.
Yeah, that's a good point. And if you're pasting the Ticket Tailor link on the LinkedIn, you can have ref tags so that you can see if the sale took place on the LinkedIn event. So you can actually track it then back into Ticket Tailor to say, well, we did 100 sales off the event page. It could be another way of kind of closing that loop to kind of understand the value that you've created from it.
Awesome. There's definitely some really amazing ideas shared there. We're coming up to the end of the webinar, so I wanted to share another poll with everyone at home, just asking you, if you're going to use any of the tips that you've heard today. Hopefully some of the social sharing tips would be great, and hopefully some of you will give the LinkedIn integration a go. Are there any sort of final takeaways that anyone would like to share with our event organizers? Like, if there's just one thing to get started creating that event community, what's like the thing that they should start doing?
Well, I'd say add the LinkedIn integration. I mean, for me, it's probably just how easy it is. Like, it's not a lot of work. It's a really quick win, and hopefully you'll get a lot of your attendees on there, and then you've got a starting base to do what the George Labs guys did so well, and start building the community out further. So I definitely encourage that.
I would say the same. I would just add, let us know how it went, and kind of be in touch with us as well, because we're keen to learn as well, and also make sure that you leverage your expertise and kind of share content. This is something that we all know we need to do. But as event organizer, you have such power because you are, an expert in your field, and you're surrounded by experts in your field. So make sure that you also empower them. So use that as a marketing tool as well.
Yeah, I love that tip. I love the valuable content as the way that you engage with your community. I think that's really something that I'll definitely be doing from now on. And Daniel or Samira, have you got anything that you'd encourage event organisers to do to kickstart their communities?
I think you should start it with a bang, to be honest. Like, not, ooh, we have a community, but really to be creative and try really to make it appealing to people to join the community. That's what I would recommend.
Amazing. That's a great starting point, and something that you've been really successful doing. So I'm definitely going to follow that advice as well. Thank you so much for having this discussion with us today, and also for everyone that is listening at home. I'm glad that it was useful for a lot of you. And yeah, this recording will be sent around to everybody with a bit of a summary of what we've talked about today. So yeah, hope that was useful, and see you at future webinars. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.
Bye.